Hello fellow booktubers, my name is Laura and you're watching Dreams, Books, Courage, and today I'm going to be doing a book discussion over my favorite book of 2015 so far, and that is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J Maas. If you guys do not know what this book is about, it is about a girl named Feyre, and she lives in this world that is controlled by a fae, but she is a human. And one day she accidentally kills a fae, and then she is forced to go live with another high fae. And so it's just a very interesting story, and it is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. I loved this book so much. I love Beauty and the Beast, and this was just the perfect way to do a retelling of it. Although Sarah J Maas definitely put her own twist on everything about it. The characters are so unique, and the way that Sarah J Maas just put the world building within the plot was just beautiful, and I would definitely suggest that you guys go and get this book. I gave this one a 5 out of 5 star rating. It was just that amazing. And that's pretty much all I want to say that is non-spoilery. So definitely come back after you guys have bought and read this book, and I will see you guys later, but now I'm going to go ahead and get on to the spoilers. Anyways, let's go ahead and get back on to talking about this book. First, let's talk about the main characters. So, of course, we have Feyre, who is the main girl, and for some reason I thought she would be like Selena from Throne of Glass, but of course she wasn't, because this is a completely different world, completely new set of characters. Although I do like Selena a little bit more, Feyre was definitely an awesome protagonist with her own challenges, and of course she was still a stubborn main character, but she was also very selfless because she cared about her family so much, and that was kind of really the only problem I had with Feyre, is that she cared about her family way more than they cared about her, and they were never grateful for what she did for them, and that just really annoyed me about her family. Although I think they came over that throughout the book. At first it was kind of upsetting to see her just being treated like dirt by her own family whenever she provides everything for them. And Feyre, of course, plays the part of Bella in this retelling. And I love that instead of her loving to read, she loves to paint. And I thought that it was very ironic that in this world, Feyre actually can't even read by herself. But it was just such a very well done retelling. And then of course we have Tamlin, who plays the part of Beast, and he does it just so well. I love how Sarah J Maas just really kept the characteristics the same between Beast and also Tamlin. He was just a sweet guy down to his soul, and he really just wasn't bad at all. He was so nice to her and so caring about her, and of course I can also see why he had to take her away from her family, and he just did so much for her. And then we have Rhysand, who is kind of like the antagonist of the story in a way, but a lot of people are shipping Rhys with Feyre, and I don't really want that to happen, nor do I think it should. Like, they're just such different characters, and Rhys kind of did some messed up things to her, like making her drink that wine and then her like dancing on him all night. Like, that's just very weird to get away from. And then he also gave her a tattoo that is a binding agreement. I really like his character and the depth that is within his character, but I still do not want them to be together. I think that Rhys is just better off on his own. And then the last main character I really want to talk about is Amarantha, and she was just a very messed up main character, but she also had a lot of depth to her, and so I really appreciated that. And it's kind of upsetting that she won't be in the other books because she was killed, because she did play a very good job of being a villain. I really liked her as a villain, and she was just such a great person to love to hate. So hopefully they will be able to make up for Amarantha's evilness in the next few novels. I just really love the Beauty and the Beast references throughout this novel, like how instead of everyone being turned into like teacups, they all just had to wear masks on their face, which made a lot of sense within this context. And then Feyre, of course, still has a deep love for her father, and of course it's still kind of like the Rose, you know, in Beauty and the Beast, where Beast is losing time, so is Tamlin. He really needs to save his kingdom, and Feyre is kind of the key to that. My favorite quote from this book was, "I loved him with a fierceness that swept up my whole heart." That was so sweet, and I just loved Tamlin and Feyre together so much. I really was not expecting Feyre to turn into a fae at the end of the book. Like, obviously, Feyre sounds a lot like Fae, but I didn't really see the need to make her turn into one. Obviously, she was dying, but I felt like that was just kind of something that should have came in later in the trilogy. And then at the end, whenever Rhysand is like saying his goodbyes to Feyre, he like looks at her with shock and then he disappears. I was really wondering what was happening with that scene. Like, why was he looking at her with so much shock? What happened? Like, obviously she's a fae now, but was there something different about her eyes? Does she have a different ability? What is really happening with that? I assume she'll get some type of magical ability within the next book because she's now a fae. That part really confused me, but it also made me look forward even more to the next book. Personally, I felt like this book could be a standalone. Like, yes, there were some questions at the end, but still, I felt like it could just be okay on its own. Although, of course, more writing by Sarah J. Maas is definitely not something I'm gonna complain about. In the next book, I kind of feel like maybe the humans will try to rebel. Maybe that's going to be the main conflict, and then in the third book, it'll be the King of Hybern. And the only reason I think it would be like that is because within Beauty and the Beast, the townspeople are the ones who like try to kill Beast. Maybe Sarah J. Maas is just going in a completely different direction. I assume that all of these books will be Beauty and the Beast retellings, but maybe they're different retellings of other fairy tales. Definitely tell me down below if you guys know. Of course, there will be more Rhys in the next book, but I'm not really sure if I'm looking forward to that. Obviously, if Feyre has to be with him for the rest of her life, then we'll definitely see a lot of Rhys. I'm intrigued to see what he's going to make her do in that week that she has to stay there. Hopefully it won't be anything bad, but you never know with Rhys. Overall, this was just such an amazing retelling, and I just really love what Sarah J. Maas did with the Beauty and the Beast world, and I'm really looking forward to where this story is going. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'll see you guys next time. I would love to hear all of your thoughts on A Court of Thorns and Roses down below. And now I'm gonna go get back to reading.